Very well. Abstract, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we make our way in to the land of dawn, who's the one that will come up early? Is it gonna be the Ube team, or would it be the aggressive Turkey?
Well, let's see how this early game actually goes out. I mean, if Yue ends up dying here, that's probably going to be a very clear victory towards Blacklist International. But knowing how, to FIMP. But generally speaking, the way that we should be looking at this is especially when it comes down to these neutral objectives, right? Hilda is not really going to participate in the majority of these team fights, but is then looking for information, trying to make sure that Blacklist International, especially for their mid laner Yue, to continuously be pulled to a different direction.
I mean, when we are looking at Edward, he is the master of his lane. The least amount of death amongst all the players. And I gotta have to say, Edward, he knows exactly what he's looking out for. In this current lane matchup, he doesn't really want to go to all-out aggressive against the Glue, but really just all about the lane priority and wanting to get back with his entire team.
Yeah, actually. Speaking of which, I mean, I'm getting a lot of flashbacks from that Todak against Echo matchup and, Blacklist matchup. And honestly, when I see this Hilda into the Diggy, and especially with Oh My Venus playing on that impure range, you know that the Queen just wants the stack.
Okay, well, right now there's a taunt already. Wise gonna be able to dish some damage out right there, but Endless Shards actually connects onto Edward, who just soaks it in. No damage, just practically tickles him. As both teams just disengage, not wanting to go for a skirmish, but just as I say it, Alien's gonna be engaged on Alien, jumping back with the slam, bash, but Alien's gonna be stunned up, and the Brave Spider, the Appraise is cracked as well. First blood for Edward. Kura, terrified up, trying to run away as Apex 47 tries his best to distract, to get him out of there right now, but it's gonna be chain CC by the Fredrin. The sprint is not ready, and it's gonna be Blacklist International with a clean 2-0 start.
Now this is when we talk about lane matchup, especially micro. The fact is that Edward was already level 4, and unfortunately Blue was not in that same position. If you had the split, maybe something else, the occurrence could have been a little different, but the fact that they got 2 of those kills so early on, and a free neutral objective, that's going to be an early goal for Blacklist International to start pressing the advantage against some of the stronger lanes.
Kira didn't even have his ultimate for that fight, unfortunately due to the fact that the Lapu pretty much quote-unquote baited it out and managing to dash out of the way right before the final shots hits it. So honestly, Kira not exactly very good for that fight.
You can already see as well here, Wise trying to go for it. That's a red trick by Kura to secure it. The overall manipulation and Endless Shards locks Wise down. The mobility field is right there, but the time journey locks him, gives him some space to escape. Wise is gonna fall. Kazoo picks up the kills. Alien rotates all around, but it's gonna be killed here by the Brave Spider. A Terrify as well, but Alien almost gets out just barely, but Yue. Brilliant micro mechanics.
Great job from Yue. I think he needed to make sure that that kill went back. If not, that lane would have been very, very skewed. And also, it allows him to kind of recover a little bit of that early game damage. Regardless, at the end of the day, when we're looking at the items, and more importantly, when we're starting looking at the emblems at this stage of the game, we hope that Kura is able to scale super fast. Because eventually, Wise is going to be able to get Radiant Armors, able to get Twilight Armors even. Oh, a quick steal!
FIMP is still sticking over to their MO. With this lineup, they can afford to be playing very aggressively. Despite losing in the, or rather despite only having a 2-kill deficit, they still want to occupy the opponent's base as much as possible. They still want to inhibit the control of Wise as the main frontliner.
Especially the fact that they were able to burn a battle spell, a very important one at that as well. Venus, the way he was able to utilize this Diggy up against Todak was getting in the right places at the right time with the Flicker. Now, Turtle's gonna be spawning in that Flicker is going to be on cooldown.
So the clutch is disabled on this car, but at the end of the day, Oh My Venus just has to position a little bit more dangerously, right? Alien's totally fine. He's come to a point in the game where it's not Whoa!
Wow, Kura even doesn't deal enough damage to take Venus down. Time Journey pop, the shielding is enough to get him out of there as Kura tries his best to start this Turtle. Retribution not available for Wise, but it is for Kura. But it seems like Flux Impunity do not have that right now. Apex 47 is hunting Venus down. But it's going to be locked down, forced to use the sprint. It might just be a free kill over, and it will. The time bomb, the alarm bomb in the bush. This finds the kill back, and it's Blacklist once again with that lead.
I mean, I respect that. You know, Apex 47 wanted to go super aggressive, and we talked about the fact that Apex 47 is not afraid. In fact, the whole entire FIMP seems like they're not afraid.
And the Shards, you may need to be afraid as Edward jumps in on their turret. Kura is able to utilize the invisibility. Here, Wise will pick up that Retribution onto the Turtle. Neutral objectives so far going all the way to Blacklist International.
Kura's got to be real careful there. He should not have lived that at all. The fact that he went back in to greed out one auto attack nearly costed him his life. I think that's going to stick with him for now. In terms of item power spike, we are seeing the Dominance Ice as well as the Ice Queen Swan coming out of Kazuya. So it's going to help him really start chasing. But again, we're looking for that opening from FIMP.
I think there's a very fine line between, respecting the opponents and being aggressive, right? Because FIMP, I don't know where they are threading right now. They would want to squeeze a little bit of hits in, they would want to really overextend themselves, but somehow they're not exactly punished.
Oh, Kura is being punished though. While you say that, Edward and Wise were able to just invade in the jungle. Now Apex 47, he might be a Hilda, but with those stacks in, Owl might just be able to slay him without the torn apart memory. That's a lot of damage from the Brody in the 5th minute of the game, completely snowballing, 7-1.
Yeah, they knew this rotation was going to happen. They already initiated one of their own to make sure that they are on the top side of the map, but you don't want to see this because it feels like right now, FIMP, whatever they do, they seem to almost be making the blunder, right? But Blacklist are the ones who are increasing the tempo. They are the ones, and especially with Psycho Fredrin, really pushing the pace.
The tempo is really working very well from the side of Blacklist International, right? Most, if not all, of their players from their side is levels above of FIMP. There is definitely quite a disparity going on, despite Edward just holding down to his lane. Alien and Kira still want to go in for a block proxy in order to go for a little bit of off-tempo.
And the charge, well, Edward just takes it. It does no damage to Edward in the early game all the way now. You can see the defensive items for Edward is really, really paying off.
Yep, it's coming into effect, and that's why you need to make sure. Radiant Armor is honestly a really good buy. Some people even decide to go, depending on what the composition is, but we'll see the items in just a little bit as they've already lost a topside turret. This turtle basically a non-contestion.
Pretty sure that the robe is currently available for the side of Edward. He's been tanking all of that and doesn't seem like it's much of a problem. Blacklist International, they understand that the turtle is already working towards their favor. They have the priority at that. Then, of course, jumping onto the jungle is what they want to go for.
Bravest fighter from Edward! All the way to the back, even! Kazuya! It's gonna be taken down, now the top side, that's gonna be Snipe coming down, but Owl's still able to escape the torn apart memory. One more shot! Owl escapes! Blacklist are stomping on FIMP.
Not giving them any opportunity. Apex is gonna get canceled, and this is just brutal. Sunshine needs to run, but even then, he's stuck.
Oh, Venus there. That's gonna be Flicker. Venus Flicker is out as well. Sunshine!
Wait.
How did he do that? He finds a double kill. Finally, he's going to be punished by Blacklist International with Owl flickering forward. No, he just dashed in front with that torn apart memory. But man, that's a mistake that we rarely see.
That's fine. They can recover from this. Blacklist is still at a 3.8k lead.
It's an island-wide coverage. We're looking at advances in the top lane. We're looking at advances in the objective. Blacklist International is still sticking true to what they want, and that is objective games over and over again. Yes, Sunshine may have outplayed them. Yes, he's just going to do what he can. Even expanded the flicker to get the kill on the Venus. Hewitt just couldn't do much from that point.
Really unfortunate, honestly. Like, towards the end there, you can see that it's clear that everybody's cooldowns were were basically done for, and they just have to wait it out. Unfortunately, that's when you see Sunshine flickering forward to create that space and forcing at least for Yue to use his own to trade.
The siege gets too much for them though. Blacklist International are completely utilizing this Brody, and Alien is going to be stunned up, and this should be him taken down without the torn apart memory. Utilizing the Brody so well in this game.
It's pretty much all of the first tier defense towers that has been taken down. Blacklist International will get full control of the river line, and the Lord will be popping out in 50 seconds. FIMP will want to reclaim this.
That's a taunt. Kazuya going to be locked down, doesn't have, he goes for the flicker anyways, but Edward chases him down with the bravest fighter. 5.5k gold lead when Edward does this much. What are you supposed to do?
I mean, honestly, this is just a massacre, right? Every single time Kura's buffs start coming up, about to spawn Blacklist, have already pushed out the waves. They are literally 10 seconds ahead of FIMP with a lot of the motions that they're making, sometimes earlier than they're supposed to be.
Renner's apathy, Wise just being that Psycho Fredrin in the front. Taunting Alien up, that's going to be Edward with the bravest fighter. He's going to be disintegrated. An Owl in the back is going to be slain by the assassin Kura, but the endless charge was stolen away by Yue. Now it's giving the real world manipulation. Sunshine gonna be able to dish out some damage, but Wise takes him out. Yue is looking for a maniac! Yue! He got it! A maniac! A savage is waiting in the base, but Kazuya, he's gonna be denying it away from Yue.
Yep, can't do any more than that. Maniacs is all we're getting here at MSC. So close to Savages, but no way to secure that pie. Now, as we look at this game, I think FIMP, unfortunately, yes, that was the correct motion. Kira is looking for that backline, looking to one-shot Owl as quickly as possible. But even then, the trades are so efficient, and with how the early game was actually played by Blacklist International, they maintained their lead. Even if they were at a 2K lead, it would only give them, what, 1,500 gold? Let's look at the replay one more time, because as we see Kira finding the angle on the left side of the map and even getting the flicker out of Owl, he one-shots him, but he's so out of position that there's nothing much they can really do. And as FIMP looking to trade back, they are behind. They are so far behind, in fact.
It's really unfortunate that Beatrix thought that he would be safe within the RWM, and I totally understand, right? You brought down the win condition on the side of Blacklist International. There's not going to be a lot of threat. But one thing that FIMP forgot is the fact that there is a 7K deficit.
And the fact that Yue can just steal the endless shards. You want to burst me? Nah, if I'm ahead, I'm bursting your team.
One shot me, one shot you. Doesn't matter who's gonna go down first. This inhibitor's mine.
An eye for an eye for 2 for a 2. FIMP is ready to defend this as much as they can, as Alien is just going to be getting shot.
Oh, they can't even defend. Edward, he gets a 2-man stun, and Yue follows it up instantly in the back, finding a double kill as RWM comes down to lock Apex 47. Owl, one more shot, but Apex is able to escape. That real world manipulation from Kazue. That's the only thing that can stop the midway. Is coming down as he's able to actually immobilize it. But look at the damage coming in from Owl, melting down. Apex 47 like it's nothing. Now it's the endless charge, doing nothing to Wise. He walks back up. Kira's looking for a kill right now. He jumps in, but it's a fade! It's a fade, and it's a time journey to lock him up. 11 minutes is all Blacklist needs.